Gerald Hartley, owning it. Owning it, Gerald Hartley.
Just show of hands, who's done one of those psychology or personality type quizzes before? Oh, a few in the room. So it's similar things like Myers-Briggs. For those who haven't, you answer an array of personality related questions. And then based on your response to these questions, you're classified into certain categories based on these personality traits. I do have one slight issue with these types of tests. While it's fantastic to have an indicator which identifies your strengths, on the other hand, they can often be used as an excuse to avoid improving your position. So what does that mean? Oh, sorry, I'm an INFP. I can't possibly think in detail. Oh, I can't help being disorganized. It's a Gemini thing. Apologies to any Geminis in the room, but I literally heard that in real life sometime. Now, I did another quiz recently, and this quiz was to find out my leadership ability. Similar deal, you answer a bunch of questions, about 30 in all in total, and it comes back with your highest scoring category. And so, with a whopping 22 style points, my top leadership style is democratic. That's right, my fellow voters, welcome guests. I'm proud today to be your new democratic leader. Move over Joe and Kamala and the other guy, not good people. So what does this mean? Well, according to the quiz, I lean towards the following types of leadership traits. And just nod along if these relate to some of you as well. Apparently, this style leads towards consensus decision-making and making decisions together. It means I'm comfortable with others taking the lead. I motivate others by providing opportunity for participation.
Yeah.
And it uses collaboration and communication to receive input from team members. That sounds roughly about right. Apparently that's what makes a democratic leader. That's great, but should I be letting a quiz determine my leadership style? I've been in a leadership role as part of the voters Toastmasters committee for the last couple of years or so. I'm not in a leadership position at work, but if I were, here would be the 3 leadership traits that I would take with me. Number 1 being accountability. That means taking responsibility for anything that happens under your watch. And last year was a prime example of dealing with events that were completely outside our control. But it was on us to deal with them. And if anything did go wrong, I felt that a competent leader will be able to take accountability and responsibility for these actions. So when I took on the role of VP Education, I had a bunch of amazing ideas and goals that I brought to the table and absolutely committed to complete by the end of my term. Some of them I feel I've absolutely nailed. Others, I'm actually not sure I'm going to actually make. But regardless of the result, no doubt I'll take responsibility and accountability for them. So the second trait is honesty, which ties in highly with accountability. And it isn't just being open and honest and transparent to your team, but it's also about being honest to yourself as well. Because even though it's part of my role to encourage everyone to complete their pathway courses, which you absolutely should, even I have to admit that I didn't find that pathways quiz to be very great, or as my note says, a pile of hot garbage. But number 3, the final trait I find that's important for leadership is being the ability to correct faults, because if a leader is responsible for what happens under their watch, and if they're honest to their people and to themselves about what happened, then he or she is able to correct course by fixing any mistakes and identify those areas of improvements, and then put tasks in the scope to make sure that everyone is on board and able to complete those. So in my case, whether it be external events, whether it be time management, whether it be unrealistic scope, I'll be honest and accountable for the goals and the targets that I don't hit this year. Sometimes that can be a bit of a tough pill to swallow, but there's certainly valuable lessons that I get to take away with me. And trust me, you won't get those lessons from any type of quiz, Mr. Toastmaster.